go again.
Okay, I said that I wouldn't because I didn't have any reason to come back to closed species. Well, I have a reason now. Something that a few people pointed out in my last video was that the Jolly Raptors are not as popular as they once were, so I was sort of just beating a dead horse at that point. I didn't know that because I didn't do more in-depth research into being a part of the community itself, because I don't want to be a part of those communities, but I've seen this species come up very often on Toy House, and very often on people's dreamy lists, and they're called Terraliens. Terraliens? Terraria? These motherfuckers. And the first thing you'll notice if you are familiar with the furry community is that these guys look very similar to another popular species, which is both open and closed. And I was just like, right, these guys are really popular. I'll just quickly take a look at their website, just to see what the hype was about. And this is it, this is the website. Of course, it's promoting their Discord server, and it does state that it is very clearly under construction, and you have to log in to request any changes, like a fandom wiki, kind of. So I go to the news section, there's nothing there. I go to the bug report section, there's surprisingly stuff there. I go to the world section. So I'm just looking around and everything, and I get to see the traits, and nothing is in your face. It doesn't look clear. Where am I going? How am I finding out about this? So basically, this species is that they're anthropomorphized creatures with quite lenient things regarding their actual body design, but they all seem to have this sort of visor, which is kind of like a fish tank or a terrarium, much as the name suggests. And I'm just kind of a little flabbergasted. First of all, I really heavily praised the Jolly Raptor site in my last video, and I still think it is amazing. This site, it says it's under construction. It's still not as good as a Jolly Raptor site. We'll see how that plays out in time if I consider going back and looking at this. There's a lot of lore I can get into here, but I'm not going to because, again, the majority of people who buy closed species are not buying it for the lore or even the community. They are buying it for the design and the bragging rights. So they have things for sale here. Pupa seeds, I'm assuming that is the Discord server currency, and therefore you really need to be a part of the Discord server to have this. But even so, to even get a chance to have one of these characters, you must join a server. You can't just go on the site here and buy and make your own like you would the Jolly Raptors. But that got me thinking, how does one actually acquire and make your own Terralien? If I'm pronouncing that wrong, I've gave up on it. So you can see here these little icons that the people have on Toy House, where it's a make your own. As these are characters that have not been made. These are characters that they have permission to create. And you go click your link, takes you to the website, and that is the listing for the specific Terralien make your own character slot. All we know is it's a rare. This code up the top, I assume, relates to this specific one. And here down the bottom, it says it can be gifted, traded, but cannot be sold. And therefore it has no value. Okay, that's cool. So these closed species you get from like entering the community on Discord, you can trade them with people, but as long as you're still taking the right administrative care to list them on the site, then it's all good, right? This gorgeous character here is not being made for a make your own slot, I believe. I think this has been purchased, and it's got a lot more details here about the specific mutations and whatever traits they have. And again, it has a 0 sell value, which is great. It can only be traded, and I think that's really positive. But then you have characters that are going for real money, despite the fact that they have less traits and therefore could be less valuable or less common than the characters that are going for free. Of course, you're still trading for something, so it's not free, but you get what I mean, there's no money involved. Now, this site is much like Toy House, where it has such things as the ownership history, or any awards the character creator has earned, I assume. Again, I'll censor out some stuff here. But you can see that it has been transferred quite a bit. I'm going to assume most of these are for trades rather than purchases. like I said, what differentiates a character with 0 value that's better than a character with £50, or sorry, $50 worth of value? I know the character might have other art, but I believe the last time I checked this site, which was a month and a half ago, that was in reference to only the character's worth, not the additional art. Or at least that was what was put across to myself. There seems to be a lot of amazing and diverse designs here, but I still think that if the creators of Protogens and Primogens wanted to, they could maybe try and sue the people that made these. I don't know, furries be like that. Like I mentioned earlier, the whole concept of this is they have like terrarium faces, but I have seen a few designs here that just look like they're using it as a visor, much like a Protogen. And at that point you just gotta think, why not just make a Protogen? Another thing that I wanted to comment about is I had a character that I no longer own because I traded it a few days ago, which was also a closed species, which was very similar. It had like a fish tank face visor type thing. And you really just gotta think, what actually makes this unique enough for people to spend money on? Now, as I've mentioned before, it seems a lot of this is done through trading, but it's not inherently clear how someone such as myself, who's not part of that community, gets into it without having to join a Discord server. And as I've said before, and I will preach until I die, we all know how Discord servers are. There's a wide range of like subspecies that you can have as pets and stuff, and I think that's really cool world building. So I'm looking here at the rarities, and I'm assuming limited as in limited edition is the highest rarity. And it says here this is only applicable through staff and GA customs, I'm not sure what that is, or adoptables, and it cannot be gained through a make your own. So this is more coveted, but at the same time, what comes under a limited trait? Well, apparently this does. It's all to do with what is inside their terrarium heads, I believe, but also what they're inspired by. So it's a limited edition thing to base it off of an inedible or non-living thing. How do you monitor that? Oh, sorry, you can't have your character inspired by a piece of cake. That's limited edition. Is that what that means? Or is it specifically just the thing in their head? Even so, why is that the thing you're trying to control the most? Would it not be other things added onto the body? Or is it specifically just what's in their head that makes them unique? If that's the case, that just seems a little shallow to me, as if the creators know their species aren't that interesting. But obviously people like them, because there's a hell of a lot of them. This is me editing, looking for more information. There's another different species called Terraliens as well, which is literally just the same thing. And if this is meant to be the same species but an old website, yeah, that's not really fucking clear. Wow. I'd say this layout is fine, it's just, it's a lot to take in for someone who's just wanting to know the basics are. We have all seen these open species sheets which tell you what the characters should have and shouldn't have, and tips to help you draw them. Even Mochi Raptors had really good visual aid for that. This is very text-based. I like my pictures. I can't read. Show me pictures. Got lovely little search features here and stuff, and these are all the make your owns. I'll just go to the most recent one. This is the limited edition make your own slot that was made 11 hours ago, so you know it is still up and running. And if we're going off the images here, I assume this means there's at least 5,000 of these characters, or at least 5,000 characters plus make your own slots. If you're going for make your own slots and you're just giving them out, be warned that most of them will never get claimed and just passed around until the universe fizzles out and we all die. It kind of makes me want to apply to try and get one, but it's not clear if you can do that without using Discord. Like I said before, I don't want to have to join a fucking Discord server to apply and maybe get this character. Why not just have a Google Documents thing where you can apply to be put on a list or whatever? Or is it because these species need that community to survive. Like, here's an old make your own made 9 months ago. Hasn't actually been claimed. I don't even know if I'll post this video because there's no like shock value to the money side of things. It's just not clear. Is it me? Am I the one just being mentally thick over here? Right, I want to make one. What do I do? How do I get one? Okay. And I need access and authorization to do anything, which is fine, but I'm not doing that. Call me lazy, call me childish. I don't want to do that. Absolutely gorgeous designs here, which seem to have a very high liberty of what someone can do, artistically, which I like. That's what I want from any closed or open species. But how do I get one without being a little Discord admin? I use Discord, okay? I've joined servers before. But usually every single open or closed species, specifically closed species, you can obtain and contact the people to obtain them through places like Toy House or DeviantArt. I think this is just really strange and it makes me feel like I'm stupid because so many people have them. But I'm like, no, I don't want to join a Discord server to have this. Maybe I could... Hold on, big brain moment. Maybe I could just make one. But why though? It's just a progen. No, don't kill me, don't kill me. That's a Jolly Raptor, that's not a Terralien. How much do they want for it? Ah, they don't want money for it, damn. Can I just have a side tangent for a second? In this video I made, the whole video is based around how commissioning art is weird and how I've not had the best experience with commissioning people. I would like to reinforce that the communication between artists online this past 2 to 3 months has really concerningly dropped to the point where I'm genuinely grasping at straws with the amount of passive-aggressive comments people are leaving towards me and other artists and just people who use the site. And it makes me feel stupid because why am I not getting this? Why does this seem like everyone else is just fine with this attitude being taken further? Why can't I find how to get one of these without joining a Discord server? These seem really cool. I like the design. This one's got a lizard. I want that! I have lizards, that would be cool as fuck. I'm struggling here. So I did a little digging off screen. You cannot resell them. You must trade for them. And seeing how beautiful all this art is here, people probably only want other closed species or popular designers, and probably not my shit. How does a common person, how does the working class person obtain one of these characters? You know that one scene from Pulp Fiction, God I forget the character's name, where he's just sort of looking around confused? That is me right now. I will pay for one of these characters, but obviously you can't resell them. So let me buy a make your own slot, but I can't do that without joining the Discord. I'm losing my fucking marbles. This is the closed species that I've seen the most of in the past few months. And I feel like in the past month or so it's actually gained a lot of popularity, which, I don't know, it may just be my algorithm showing me this stuff. It seems like an absolutely gorgeous community for artists. There's just so much creativity. But I'm still wondering how the fuck I get into it. And every piece of artwork that I see seems to be high quality as well, which kind of gives me the impression that this isn't really, how do I put it, beginner artist friendly and or friendly to those who don't have this sort of art style. Now my brain's just thinking about these conspiracy theories and stuff, and I'm not gonna run with that. I just think that's a little thing that I just want to mention as well. Unless it is just like the same 5 artists posting this stuff all the time. A lot of people here seem to be repeats and have multiple of these characters. So why can't I have one? I don't want to be a Discord kitten, please. I don't want to be a Discord kitten. It's almost discriminatory towards people who don't want to use Discord. That's what I'm trying to say. If I could go back to Skype with all my friends following me, I would. Discord scares me. Oh, you thought I wasn't going to. Well, I'm not. This is actually a Protogen. A rare Protogen. You know, the ones you see in porn quite a lot. I mean, that I've heard are in porn. Yes, it's one of those. So I just want to say my normal fucking statement. I'm not against the creators of that species. I'm not against the creators of any closed species. It's a little weird that I can't find the specific creators to go and like find their profiles, since they all seem to lead back to dead ends and wrong credits on Toy House. But you know, maybe I'm just not looking hard enough. But for an average Joe, your general furry or fictional character OC lover, why is it so hard to find out information about some closed species? It's just a little strange. I just feel like it's so sheltered. Like a gated community of sorts, but there's no gates, and gated communities are weird as it is. I don't know, am I looking too much into this? At the end of the day, people will sell these Terraliens in the future, and people will just get rid of them for free and all their meaning will go down the drain because nothing will matter in life, and we'll all be like 35, if we're not already 35, and broke as shit. I really like this vibe that my little Protogen woman here has. Very retro, very cool. Remember, this is a Protogen. It's a Protogen. I swear it's a Protogen. But what if it's not? Wouldn't that be so quirky? I'm sorry. Yeah. Closed species. Why are we still doing this? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Here's a bunch of stuff. I added a little change to the visor, so you'll see that in a few seconds, but other than that, yeah, hope you enjoyed. You fucking furries. Ah, you know I'm just playing. Seriously, what the fuck?